On to today's first insert, which takes us to the mother city of Cape Town. Natalie's hometown, by the way.
Yeah, St. George's Cathedral is one of the oldest cathedrals in South Africa, and Abdul Malik Musiam Dubati, our roving presenter, went to find out more about the history of this grand religious structure.
Greetings, I'm Abdul Malik Musiam Dubati. It is said that the building of a cathedral is an act of faith. The St. George's Cathedral on Wales Street in Cape Town is no exception with its long and lustrous history. I spoke to Dean Rowan Smith and Reverend Bruce Jenica about the long world-renowned history of this cathedral. Please join me as we find out more. Please tell us about the history of the cathedral. When was it built and who built it?
This cathedral's history begins with the English settlement in South Africa, which is around about 1820. And it was in 1824 that this land where the cathedral is standing today, at the lower end of Government Avenue, was given for the building of a church. That church was completed in 1834. And the first services were held here then. That was not this cathedral. The original cathedral, the original St. George's Church, wasn't a cathedral, it was a church. And it was in the neoclassical style, very Greek-like. When Archbishop Grey, the man who became the first Archbishop of Cape Town, arrived here as a bishop in 1848, he was not happy with that Greek-style church. He wanted a Gothic cathedral, a cathedral which would be recognized as a cathedral and look like the great cathedrals in Europe. So in 1901, the foundation stone was laid for this cathedral, which was designed by Herbert Baker, the great Commonwealth architect.
Dean Rowan Smith, St. George's Cathedral has a labyrinth. Now, what is a labyrinth and how can it be used as a spiritual tool?
Let me say two things firstly. Do not confuse a labyrinth with a maze, which has dead ends. A labyrinth is a circular path which follows through itself into the center. And the way it can be used spiritually is that if people are aware they're on a journey seeking to find who God is for them, they can walk this path, and so they pray with their feet, and coming to the center, they can reflect on what the journey is for them. This labyrinth has its origins in the one in Chartres Cathedral in France, and therefore goes back to the 13th century, but ours was inspired by the one in Grace Cathedral, San Francisco.
Mr. Iso, the cathedral has 10 bells, and I believe 8 of them are from 1834. Can you please tell us a little bit about the history of these bells, what the names are, and how much they weigh?
These bells has names. They are hope, love, charity, redemption. And the biggest of them, the tenor, is called the Good Hope. They weigh from about 316 kilograms to 1.5 ton, which is about 1,270 kilograms.
Do you feel that you fulfill a spiritual role as the bell captain?
And it's very spiritual because that you are calling people to come to prayer, calling them to come to church. And they would know exactly when to come to church when the last bell rings very fast.
The beautiful architecture of the St. George's Cathedral is breathtaking, and combined with its rich history, it's a must-see for anyone visiting the mother city, Cape Town. So, from me, Abdelmalik Musia Mutubati, it's peace and blessings. Until the next time.
Well, Abdul Malik certainly gets to get around the country.